New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning. On Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning. Laura Stiles. Rosenberg's at the NBA All-Star Game.
Nice.
We have my brother Zilla here. Do you go by Blogxilla or just Zilla now?
Zilla, the price went up, so I had to go by Zilla Valentine.
Zilla Valentine.
Yeah. They told me you can't be interviewing A-list people as Blogzilla. You got to change your name. I was like, I'm not doing my government, so let's just call me Zilla Valentine. Because I had already established Blogzilla for so long.
Right.
I didn't want to just go back to my government, so I was like, Zilla Valentine.
Zilla Valentine. And who's your co-host here? Introduce us, man. I
Jesse
never
Wu,
met her.
the
Jesse
phenomenal
Wu.
Jesse Wu.
Now, Jesse, where would we know you from before this? Because I know you got your resume is pretty long.
Yeah, I'm a TV host at BET.
Yeah.
I've partnered with people like AT&T. I've been on Wild 'N Out as a Wild 'N Out Girl Season 8. I'm currently on Love and Hip Hop Miami.
Oh.
And now I'm a co-host on Power Star Live.
What's your G? You got some drama on Love and Hip Hop Miami? Who
You throwing
don't
drinks?
Like? Who you beefing with? I don't watch the show, so put me on. Who you beefing with? Come on.
I did throw a bottle.
Oh, my
Bad
goodness.
decision. Bad
Who'd you throw it
decision.
at?
Somebody. Yeah, somebody on the show.
All right,
Well,
but
I'm
we
gonna
didn't
look it
throw.
But you know what?
Cause you ain't.
But it was a
I
bad
gave you an
decision.
opportunity to tell me. So,
No, it was
yeah.
a bad decision.
That's fine.
Something was thrown at me first. So I go into a
Kelly
conversation
Wu
with
throws bottles.
two of my castmates. Something gets thrown at me first. And, I'm from Miami-Dade County, so it's like if something gets thrown at me first, then it's showtime. So,
All right, so give us the premise of Power Star Live.
Basically, Power Star Live roundups like the best tweets of Twitter. It's
Okay.
owned by Twitter. Sort of highlights what happens on Black Twitter, who beefing. We like to give people shine as well. So like we always highlight like a good moment. Last week we did Candace Payne, who bought 60 hotel rooms for the homeless people.
in
yeah.
Chicago,
Yeah, that was
when
in
the polar
Chicago, right?
vortex hit.
Yeah, it was in Chicago during the polar vortex. Now we do highlight beef as well. The ratchetness on Twitter.
So you guys
But
have a nice balance.
a nice balance,
Yeah.
a very nice balance. We always have a guest. This week we had DC Young Fly.
Okay.
Next week I think we have. I don't think it's announced.
We were
yet.
supposed to get.
Yeah.
We were supposed to get. I think it was T.I. yesterday.
T.I.,
but he
but
was
we didn't
busy
get
on
T.I.
set.
T.I. was busy on
He was
set.
too busy
Yeah,
frying
it's
up
a-
Floyd Mayweather.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a live
yeah.
show, so we do it live.
Yeah.
Now I saw the numbers. The stats look amazing. For
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, right?
Yes.
Over 1 million views.
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank
right?
you.
I've known you for a while, and
Very
you
long time.
created your own lane and doing the movie junkets.
Yeah.
Right. And even I went to one or two. You invite people out to screenings. And
Yeah,
things here in the
I
city.
have the Zilla movie party. It is the premier movie going experience. I went to a lot of movie premieres. Like I was always at a lot of movie premieres, and I couldn't talk about it for like a month. So I was like, how can I get my friends and my industry people to see these movies so I can talk about it? So partnered with a lot of movie studios, and I highlighted a A-list movie. We did Black Panther. We did Guardians of the
Box.
Galaxy, Bird Box, and it's just a dope event. Influencers, celebrities come watch a movie, hang out, drink, have a good time. You know?
Now it was interesting because I saw you interview. I mean, you've had a number of people that you sat down with: Oprah Winfrey. Denzel. Trying to think of some other people I've seen you with. Pretty much anybody that's been A-list in a movie over the last 24 months.
Everybody except Tom Hanks and Brad Pitt. Those are like the only two people I haven't interviewed.
And when I saw you doing it, I thought you just designed a lane for yourself and started showing up because nobody in hip hop and nobody black was really doing these junkets that you see run on like Entertainment Tonight and these little quick little hits.
Yeah.
Because don't they come in, they sit down, you got like 4
You got
minutes.
4 minutes to get in and
Yeah.
you get out, so you got to start building
But
that.
nobody in our world was doing that. So when I saw you doing it, I was like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like, he built
yeah.
his whole own situation.
Thank you very
So
much.
are you the go-to guy when they want somebody from our world in hip-hop to go?
Yes, I am. I think I am. I like to consider myself that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that and not me. but yeah, I am. Sit down in the room and I try to merge cultures. Like I sat down with Ben Affleck for Batman versus Superman, and I was like, who would Young Metro trust more? Would he trust Batman or Superman? Because
Did
if
he get
Young
it?
Metro don't trust you, he was like, absolutely. He was like, Young Metro should definitely trust Batman.
What artists have surprised you? Like when you hit them with like hip hop little like quotes or
Yeah, that is always surprising. It's always surprising when they know stuff, and it's
Yeah.
always surprising when they reach. Like Emily Blunt, just sat down with Emily Blunt for Mary Poppin', and I was like, Poppin' is kind of a slang. And she like went with it the whole time, and it just was great to sort of see her really embrace the culture. Because at the end of the day, we're all the same, you know what I mean? Like, we all love the same thing, we all laugh, and I just try to try to do that. I also do that like not in a suit and tie. The majority of people do that. They go in there
always
with a
got
suit
your
and
hat
tie.
on.
You got the hat on, you chilling.
But when I was a kid,
sneakers
I
on.
never saw anybody who looked like me, came from where I come from, get to sit down with these A-list celebrities. So I
Yeah.
want to, and plus when they do get that opportunity, they do it from their position with a suit and tie. I do it in a hoodie, a leather jacket, you know what I mean, my hat to the back.
Being yourself.
Just a whole bunch of sauce.
One thing,
go
I'm sorry.
ahead, Laura,
One
I'm
thing that
sorry.
I love about your story, and for people who might not be familiar with you, can you just talk about making a lane for yourself?
Yeah, man.
Like how you took advantage of all your platforms and all your connections, and you created this for yourself.
Yeah, you was coming up. A lot of people don't know he was coming up with Nicole Bitchy days.
Yeah. I helped Nicole. I did her first banner, did her first website. Nicole and I sat on the phone for hours and hours and plotted about how to bring our world to people and how to bring ourselves to the world. Like we were the first two people to say, hey, Twitter's a thing. This was like 11 years ago. We've been on Twitter for 11 years.
Wow.
Like, hey, Twitter's a thing. Black journalists, let's go there. So I consider it saying we started Black Twitter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, just
See what
doing
Black
that.
Twitter has to say after this interview. It
Yeah,
should be
I
interesting.
Somebody from Black Twitter told me, how do you name these hosts? They don't even go here. Like, I was like, I started it. Like, you know,
Definitely.
But that's what happens when you age in this game. You know, I know
Yeah.
that firsthand. You know what I mean? You age in this game, people don't know the history.
Right.
Right? And they don't really care. They just care about what they need to do for themselves in the moment. So you end up being the old head in the game. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Do you back to the movies, Liam Neeson situation.
Yeah.
You see this.
I saw a Liam Neeson situation. I'm actually quoted on the movie saying Liam Neeson at his best. I sat down with Liam Neeson. I said, was there ever a time where you felt the need, like what would it take for you to go out and seek revenge for somebody? And he ain't had that same energy he had with that other interview. He sort of like ducked and dodged the question.
So do you feel, well, I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the way he told the story with that level of black bastard, that detail that he went into telling the story, was necessary for the movie junket where he did it?
No, I don't think so. I think
Nobody
he could
even-
have said he was looking around for a black person, not a black bastard. I think, and he could have said he felt bad about it, which is what he,
He
did
did.
say.
He did say that.
But to say that I wanted to kill a black bastard,
Like, it was so
took
unnecessary.
it to the next level.
And nobody ever even, like, who asked him about that?
Yeah, but I
It was
personally
He
like
volunteered
yeah,
that.
he volunteered that information. So it was like, yeah,
He
that
felt
was
safe.
very, yeah.
felt safe.
Yeah.
I personally don't think Liam Neeson is racist. I think he might have had a racist bone, and everyone has a racist bone in their body. I think he had a moment of, I sat down with Liam Neeson and talked about police shootings, you know what I mean? He was genuinely, like, upset about it. And this is an interview that's on the thing. Look, people say messed up stuff. I think he's a jerk for saying that. I think he's a bastard himself for saying that, and I don't condone what he said, but I also don't think he's racist.
I don't
he has
think
the
that he would have
capability
said
of being
black.
racist.
I don't think he would have said white bastard if the guy was black.
You
if the guy was
completely-
white.
You completely think that
You
he
think
is.
he's racist?
I do think it was a very racist comment.
I'm not saying the comment wasn't racist. I'm saying I don't think he's racist.
I think-
The-
Yeah.
the-
He would
I
have
will
a
say
beer with
this.
me, let
I
me
will
give me
say
opportunity.
this, right? He comes from a like a pretty homogenous world in Ireland, right? Where all you
Where
see
was he
is-
going to find black people over there?
Well, they have black people in Ireland, so there's probably very few of them.
Right.
Right? And so it's, I can see where someone who is not exposed to a lot of black people think they're all the same. I can see where that thought comes
I
from.
can too.
But I also see where that is racist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is what
It was
that
a
is
it was a
that is
racist
inherently the root of what racism is where you just go and hate someone because they look a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, that may not be his practices today.
Yeah.
But it was easy for him, and even
do
though
that
even
so
his
easy.
friend that was like, I don't know who did it, was some black dude who raped her, right?
Yeah.
That's Emmett Till.
That is
That's
Emmett Till.
all of those things where they
That is
just
Emmett Till.
black person.
And you
let's kill him.
don't ever hear a black person feel comfortable enough to say what he said, which is, well, I would look for a white bastard. You know what I mean? I feel like nowadays they're just getting a little comfortable with some of these comments.
nowadays.
They're
Yeah.
getting way
No,
too
they're-
comfortable
Yeah,
with
it's like
this
they
comment.
just
Way too
really
comfortable.
relax with it.
What you mean? This
Yeah.
has been going
At the end
on.
of the
This
day-
ain't
Yeah, but it's
new.
like, I think because of social media, which is what we do on Parasol Live, we kind of shine a light on what people are saying. A lot of people weren't really paying attention to the racism. Now you have social media that's
How old are you,
always
young
shining
lady?
a
I'm
light.
sorry.
I'm 28.
Yeah, no,
Shine-
I'm 43. This is standard issue.
It is.
It's because of social media.
Right, it's being more
now it's
apparent.
touching younger folks.
That's what I'm saying.
Who thought because you saw Obama for the last 8 years that it was all good.
Yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
we had Lil anointed that racism wasn't a thing. Do you remember that?
I
Right,
remember
but then
Lil
you have
Wayne
people
said
like
racism
Kanye
isn't a
who say
thing.
things that they say. You know what I mean? So then you have Liam Neeson who comes out and makes that statement. It's like, okay, guys, like we can't ignore this. This is very, very obvious that these people do feel this way about us.
It
you
hasn't
know?
stopped, man.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if you feel like it's new, it's not.
It's definitely
no,
not
it's definitely
new.
not.
And that definitely was a racist statement.
Yeah.
I don't know Liam Neeson to know who he is as a person. That's all I was trying to say.
But your point is true where you said he felt comfy.
he felt so
He felt
comfortable.
super comfy in
I
that
wanted to
press
kill the
show.
black bastard.
Well, and then
I felt horrible about it.
the other piece of this, I think everybody should pay attention to, where we're seeing the Gucci turtleneck and
Yeah.
the Prada thing and the Montclair jacket and whatever other news. There are no real ramifications for these things.
We're going to stop buying Gucci for 3 months.
No.
And then we'll give them all of our money again.
Racism is the new marketing tool.
Right, outrage.
Racism is the new marketing
Monetizing
tool.
black
That's
people's
it.
outrage and black
Gucci
Twitter's
does the black
outrage.
sweater,
Yeah.
and people are still gonna buy
Yeah.
Gucci. Liam says what he says. People are really gonna go see the movie now.
No, I
you
don't think so. I honestly don't
I
think so.
feel like
No,
it's gonna be a
I
big
think
hit.
it's over for Liam.
You
I
think
don't
it's
think
over
so.
for
I think it's
Liam?
over
I
for
don't
Liam
think
Neeson.
so at all.
I think it's over for Liam Neeson.
I don't think it's
honestly
over
do.
at all.
I think
You
it's
got to
over,
look at
yeah.
the demographic of the people that were going to go see his movies.
No, Hollywood don't play that. Hollywood don't play that.
No.
I don't think so.
I feel like because he went on his apology, his apology tour.
And his apology tour made it even worse.
And they shut him up. They was like, nope. I think
Oh, yeah, they
it's
took
over
his
for Liam.
red carpets away.
I think it's over for
They
Liam.
took it from him, or he canceled it because he didn't want the heat.
I thought
Right.
they
They canceled the
they
red carpet.
canceled him, not he canceled.
Yeah, they canceled the red
But
carpet
people
because they
still
were
went to the
afraid
premieres.
What he was gonna say.
People
I
still
think they're
went to
gonna
the
let the
premiere.
dust settle.
Right. That's what they do.
He apologized, and he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Honestly,
Well,
don't
I
think so.
guess we'll see.
I
We'll
think
see.
it's over for Liam.
Now, how did this show happen on Twitter? What's this backstory?
Super producer Will Packer came up with the idea.
Yo, Will, come by the program,
Jamie,
man.
Don't cut me off. Let me finish. Along with Jamie Premack Sullivan, they came up with this idea and they produced a show, brought it to Twitter, and it came to light. It was a lot of work, but it's here now. We're the hosts.
And so the idea is basically Will Packers and Twitter is really just a distribution portal. Is that how I'm
Well,
understanding
Twitter
it?
owns the show.
Yeah.
So it's
So
owned by
it's
Twitter. It's the
Twitter show.
first show of its kind. It's owned by Twitter. It's executively produced by Will Packer and Jamie Sullivan.
So he picked, I just want so the
Yeah.
audience kind of knows how these things work,
Will
right?
Packer
'Cause
Media is
brought
responsible.
this into them. They
Yeah.
brought
Right.
it and are using their social media,
Exactly.
Twitter platform
Exactly.
to distribute it out
Yeah.
to people.
And is this live daily?
live every Wednesday.
4 p.m.
Live
Eastern.
in Atlanta.
Nice.
Yeah.
How
And
y'all like
Atlanta.
being live? I know that's new
You
for
know
both
what?
of y'all.
It's I'm used to doing like other Twitter shows that pre-record and then show it, but with this one it's actually live. So, last week was our second week, and of course you're seeing little kinks when it comes to audio or visual. This is like a newborn baby. It's the first of its kind.
Yeah.
So
I enjoy being live. I think live gives you the opportunity to be current with the information and to be right there, right now. Because like I
Yeah.
said, we are live. You see,
But
the
it's still
mistakes,
nerve-wracking, though.
You see everything.
because if you make a mistake, it's like, can't take it back. It's not pre-recorded.
But no one knows you made a
But-
mistake. So that's what I like about it. That's
how you play
I
it
fuck
off.
up all the time. I mess up all the time. And no one really realizes it. Like I just did. We live.
But it's amazing.
Yeah, the live thing, you'll get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been live for a long time, so you get used to how to maneuver. And you also, the one thing that's phenomenal is, your true self will shine through.
Of course.
Right? So if you're being your truest self, you'll connect with the audience in a real way, good or bad.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And you take both, and then, but yeah, you can't hide like you can. on
No,
other things.
but it's amazing because Will Packer definitely gives us a lot of freedom. So many people want to work with someone like him, and it's been amazing to have him tell us, hey, do what you want. This is your show. Say what you want. Just don't say certain curse words because we live. But just make it your own. Do whatever jokes you feel. And it's just been great to be under his leadership.
Before Love and Hip Hop, what were you doing?
I've been working at BET since 2017. I have a master's degree in mass communications. I have a bachelor's degree in political science and journalism.
Master's degree. In
Yeah, so I've always
So
wanted
you
to
went
be
school
a
for 4 years
journalist.
and said, let's go again. For
I
4
went
years?
So
back.
now, the reason I ask you that, and I'm glad you gave me all the resume, because that's dope. First of all, it's dope and respect.
Yeah.
But you said you always wanted to be a journalist.
Yeah.
But you're on Love and Hip Hop, which
Right.
people enjoy. It's a soap opera, it's a reality show, whatever. I stopped watching a long time
Yeah.
ago just because it's not for me. But often people do not give the individuals on that show much, I I guess, intellectual respect.
Yeah.
They think people that are on that show represent the worst of the worst. They're not smart. And so listening to you talk, that's exactly why I'm asking you the question. Is because...
Well, I've been very verbal recently on social media about my experience. You know, maybe it wasn't the best choice to go to social media, but I have been very verbal about that I don't appreciate that they don't want to show certain sides of not just me, but a lot of people that are on the show. Right. It's not entertaining.
They don't want you being
right.
smart.
It's like I filmed.
You trying to kick knowledge?
Yeah,
like I filmed so many things.
Throw a bottle.
Right.
Spit on a bitch.
But that's what they want to focus on. They don't want to.
But look at our president. That is what is popular.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And so, but I've worked so hard to be where I'm at. I'm originally from Miami, but I moved from Miami to New York 3 years ago. I was on food stamps, like I was on Section 8 hustling, you know, and I was on social media making jokes. Then I started doing stand-up. Then I was at a stand-up meeting, and I just so happened to meet my future boss that was there, that would be at BET, that would hire me there. So I've been there since 2017. That was my first time at a major network.
Right.
But back in Miami, I was doing sideline reporting for football. I ain't know nothing about no football, but I was like, I'm going to learn whatever I got to learn because I want to be on TV.
Let me ask you this, and this is why I initially started this convo. Mm-hmm. As a young black woman who wanted to be a journalist, where were the avenues for you?
They were scarce. In Miami, you know, if you're not Latina, if you're not
you gotta speak
como
Espanol.
está, you're not going to get on. And I would be told all the time, you know, go to Timbuktu, go to Ohio. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I said, let me.
Make the move around.
I didn't. And so I said, let me just come to New York. But when I came to New York, it was harsh. That first year and a half was tough. Living in Flatbush. But, you know, it just so happened that I was at the right place at the right time. And my boss was like, we've been looking for a dark girl. We've been looking for a black girl.
Yeah, man.
We don't see them a lot that have your complexion but have your personality. And I was like, what? You know, so I was just in the right place at the right time.
Why didn't you try to start your own website?
Well, like I said, I was doing content creating. So I have a huge following on social media for Haitian comedy. So I do stand up as well.
So you're Haitian?
Yeah, I'm Haitian.
Yeah.
Passe to all my zoes. Ma poulet, nula. But yeah, I have a huge platform for that. But I didn't think that it would kind of lead me to journalism. So it's so funny that in my dark time when I was trying to figure it out and I was putting stuff on social media, it led me to what I went to school for, ultimately. So
now do you see yourself stepping away from the reality TV thing? I did look up you and Amada La Negra was on there beefing. You was, what you beefing with Amada for?
You know, I feel like in real life, when I don't hit it off with someone, I just kind of step away. But when you're filming these television shows, you're forced to keep interacting.
Deal with that, yeah.
And I just don't do well with that. So I did make a couple bad decisions on there, but I really don't have beef with nobody unless you Sally Mae. I really don't, you know? So I wish her the best. I wish everybody the best. But I don't see it as a long-term thing for me.
So you're going to step away from it?
We'll
so
see.
This was the first season you shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, why the dark complected girls got to be beefing though?
You know, I said this on my social. Yeah, I said this on my social media. But the thing is too is that with her, we apologized so many times. No. We apologized twice on the show. We apologized. People will see that later. We apologized twice. Once was sincere. The next time was, well, it wasn't entertaining enough. So we had to do it again. Then the show starts airing, and she's on social media acting as if we didn't apologize to each other. So I'm like,
playing
okay,
up the plot line.
Right, just playing up a professional victim. So it's like, you know what, sis? You don't want to make it good.
That's kinda
the
smart,
network
so
don't
that
want to
bag
make
keep
it
coming.
good. The network
She
don't want to
on
make it good. You don't want to
season
make
2.
it good.
But maybe she was just playing the character though.
She's playing a character.
That's what everybody says. I'm not good. I'm not good at that. Yeah, I'm not good at that.
You too real, right, Kelly Wu? You too real.
Jesse.
Jesse, you too real, Jesse.
I mean,
sorry.
everybody says they're real, but I feel like for me, I'm not good with playing a character. I'm so transparent. I'm very transparent about everything.
That was a real
you know,
nigga
and
answer
even
right
on the
there.
show, like I at least
I
I got to
I'm
talk
real.
about something that happened to me. You know, I talk about sexual assault. I talk about bad business in the music game because I was singing for a long time in Miami and it wasn't working out for me. So then going back to Miami and the music game there is so whack. I talk about that, and I just felt like they didn't want to focus on that. They want to focus on fight, and it's like,
What's
you know
Love
what?
and hip hop? That's what it's always
I
been.
just, I
But you know
can't.
that though, because that's what Love and Hip Hop is.
I think people see.
I think I was pitched
I think people see
something
K. Michelle
else
and they see
and
Cardi
my
B and they think
experience
they have
with-
an opportunity to go in there and become a big music star when that's not. Those are anomalies. Those are
Yeah.
one
It
in
doesn't
a million
happen with
chances.
everybody. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But
But now you
I
have a new
definitely,
show.
I'm definitely, listen, I'm excited about Power Star Live. I'm excited. It's the first show of its kind.
Yeah.
We both get to do something that we've.
It's
Y'all get
opening
along?
up so-
Y'all get along? Y'all had any fights
I don't
yet?
know.
No, I
ain't
love her.
fights yet?
I love her.
Bottles.
No fights yet. She hasn't thrown anything on me yet. So I think we're good. I think we're good.
No, I mean, listen, I look up to Zilla. Zilla, like you said, is someone that everybody's known for over 10 years.
Yeah.
So me kind of newer, I get to learn from someone who's, an OG in the game, who's seasoned, and I get to watch what he does, and hopefully, and then we're working with Will Packer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
phenomenal.
come
She's
on.
a natural. Like sitting
Like-
down reading with her. Once those cameras go live, she's a natural. And I told her at the first she was so nervous. I'm like, yo, you did so good. I've seen and been with people and had co-hosts with people who just couldn't do the job. And you're really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
And this
congrats.
is opening up so many opportunities for us all the time. And I'm just super excited for what's to come.
What
dope.
is your favorite story of the last week?
Oh,
Or what do you feel is the most interesting
honestly,
story of the last week?
mine was the BET thing.
What's the
Oh, with
BET?
Nicki
BET,
Minaj.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki
You
Minaj.
know, I work at BET, and
Yo, who was it?
I know who it was.
Yeah, they got
But
fired.
you know
They got
what?
fired.
They got fired, but then also someone who is responsible for me getting hired there got fired. And they didn't even get a chance to revise everything. So it's like,
Because they were supposed to be overseeing that.
Yeah,
And they
so
got
it's
caught
like-
asleep at the wheel.
yeah, and it's like, it's a bummer because this person has done so much for us there, and they're not there anymore. And so it's a lesson to people who do get to manage social media for major companies. Watch it, like watch yourself, because not only do you risk
Well,
losing
you
your
know,
job.
I just want to go.
There's two
Been
things.
through it.
I
Like-
was going on record to say I really like Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
am
lo-
a fan of Nicki. I don't want no Nicki Minaj hate.
I know, right?
There's two ways. First of all, we've been through that here. So we wrote we got
Yep.
the blueprint on
Yeah.
what's happening to BET with this scenario.
When we saw, we were like,
We've been through that. I'm a firm believer though that you got to stand next to your employees,
I think so too.
right? And while artists carry a lot of weight, right? Cracking a joke on social media, which is the place for jokes. People crack jokes and say these things. That's not like they were trying to be slanderous or saying something that was potentially personal or, you know what I mean? There's another, like when Rosenberg had his incident with Nicki Minaj at Summer Jam, he didn't like a song.
Yeah.
This song is trash. We
He
work
has
at a
a right
radio
to- he has a
station.
right to think that.
You're hired to have an
Opinion.
opinion.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't mean we're not going to play the song. It just means we think it's trash.
I get it that other people like it. I don't like it.
That's
which
all
is
good.
fair.
And you call it trash,
I don't
it's
like
pop-ish,
Dunkirk.
whatever.
It's one of the best movies of that year. I thought it was trash.
But Young Money and Lil Wayne, they pulled out of the concert.
Right.
Once you go and fire your employees because of an artist who doesn't work at your place, takes a stance, how can your employees feel safe? Because the minute an artist wants to take a stance against somebody, now, I'm not saying that this person should have even had the ability to write jokes. I don't know what the
Right.
protocol was. Maybe there was protocol where you're not even supposed to have an opinion. You're not even supposed to be cracking jokes.
And those things should be discussed.
Those things
Yeah.
should be
I think
discussed.
what-
Like, it's not your job to have editorial.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to
Right.
editorialize.
I think what was
Put up
happening
the
was-
story, put up
Yeah.
the facts, keep it pushing. But if you put somebody in a position to engage with the audience,
Yeah.
Which is what Twitter's for.
But I think a lot of people look at what Bossip did. Shout out to Bossip. I worked there, in full disclosure. But they changed the game when it came to headlines and tweets. That we are the best at
Yes.
social media and
we
tweets.
read. Sometimes we don't
right.
even read y'all stories. We just laugh
The
at the headlines.
headlines.
That's
So
it.
good.
Exactly.
Nah,
It's that
actually,
good.
sometimes,
and I
all the
think a
time.
lot of people and a lot of
Shout out to
brands
my man
have
Hip Hop Obama over there.
absolutely follow that trend and be like, okay, well let us spice up our tweets and our social media game. And I think that's what a lot of platforms are doing.
my point is,
You gotta-
if that is the assignment, make people laugh, engage with people, pluck an emotional chord with people, create conversation.
So you're saying nobody should have been
Fired. If that was the assignment.
Yeah.
If the assignment was post about the Grammys and the facts about the Grammys, and you went and editorialized, I believe that's grounds for termination. If you're there to create dialogue and engage and crack jokes and do these things, and you go too far, that's a learning lesson.
Yeah.
Right? I don't believe, because at that point,
The thing with what was happening online, people were dragging Nicki, which, happens a lot.
People were doing what happens on social media, which is
Right.
creating unnecessary controversy
Right.
for the sake of humor, where there was no controversy.
Right.
But it's like only certain people could do that though. Which is the crazy
Exactly,
thing.
and
Only certain
correctly,
people could do that.
and correctly. That the headline, it just wasn't hitting.
And really,
it wasn't hitting. The
like, for
article
instance-
wasn't hitting.
but
It
like,
just
for
wasn't
instance,
even
here at
funny.
Hot 97, right? We have people and they post stories and questions. But Hot 97, the logo, doesn't take a stance or have an opinion because it's just a brand. It's a logo. Same with probably BET, this is BET's voice.
Right.
Yeah.
My voice, Rosenberg's voice,
Is
Laura's voice,
aside.
these other individuals,
And
right?
that's what I said. I said once you tweet that from BET, you
Right.
are the voice of the company.
Right.
Once they give you that responsibility
Right.
to tweet, you
But
are
they
BET.
have to be clear
Yeah.
how you're supposed to engage. There should
Absolutely.
be
Yeah.
a step-by-step
It's a
booklet
lesson
on how you're
learned.
supposed to engage.
Yeah.
And just know that we learned the hard way too.
Yeah. But I mean,
All I'm
BT
trying to say is-
apologized
Nah, we
and
was good.
hopefully.
Lil
No,
Twist
hold
needs
up.
that BET
Hold up,
experience
hold
money.
up.
though. Lil Twist need
Nicki
that.
pulled out the concert. Young Money pulled out. We brought out Lauryn Hill.
Well, no. But we've had other incidents on social media that have,
Oh, nah, but let's get it on.
we've gone
I
flamed up
feel
with
that
them.
I feel that with BT's apology, because let's not be shy to the fact that BT has always supported Nicki Minaj. BT loves Nicki.
For sure.
So it's like, I feel like with their apology and them being sincere, I hope she does come back because
Yeah.
we love her and it shouldn't be a time when we're just putting her down because someone else is, you know what I mean? Everybody can eat.
No, you don't have to
Everybody
kick. You don't have to
eats.
kick somebody else because somebody else won. You don't have to
Everybody
do that.
eats.
But we ain't gonna sit here and act like they didn't have a thing going on.
Right.
And Cardi B just won a Grammy, and Nicki hasn't won a Grammy. That's a story.
That's a
we
story,
can all
too.
be high. We don't want to start
Yeah.
no beef, but y'all was
That's
just
a
beefing
story.
6 months ago.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
They
Well,
still
we
beefing.
say it on Power Star Live too. Nicki should be a Grammy winner.
Oh, for
we don't
sure.
understand why that hasn't happened. Prayerfully it happens for her soon.
Well, and on that, speaking of the Grammys, if you care and you're a songwriter and a producer and you're not a registered voter with the Grammys, that's where that's the flaw.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
because there's 14,000, 18,000 members. The people who vote in hip hop or in R&B are people from hip hop and R&B.
In the words of
The people who
Wait,
vote are
I thought they didn't really represent us.
No, the people who vote in those categories are producers, songwriters, engineers from hip hop and R&B, executives, etc. The total 18,000 members is not all hip hop and R&B. You got anybody that's from 85 to 15 years old in there from
wanna say
all
about-
genres.
you wanna say about-
On Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and Album of the Year, those 3 categories are
from
voted
everybody.
on by the whole thing. But in those specific genre categories, the genre, people who are registered to vote in that genre, vote in that genre.
Yeah.
That's the way it was explained to me. I don't vote, but I
Yeah.
always wanted to learn it.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that.
Yeah,
So
I
they
always-
get mad at the Grammys when really you should be mad at the people who are
are
registered to
voting,
vote
of course.
in the hip hop
Of
categories.
course. Yeah.
Which are songwriters, producers.
So how do you even
artists.
see who is registered? I think.
I don't think you do.
You can't see who's registered, but people can say, "I'm a voter." I know
I'm in the
people who are
academy,
voters
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
And it's everything from if you've had credits on an album, right, or executive produced an album, or been a producer on a song or something like that, you can register, which I think is like $100 to become a member
Well,
of the thing.
damn.
Something
Go
like
ahead and
that.
put something out and then register my ass.
You a songwriter? You
I am.
releasing
I am.
songs that have been
yeah.
released?
Well, I didn't get credit for past ones, but
Well,
I
you
do
gotta
have
get the
music
you gotta
on the
get the
way.
credit.
Yeah, I do have music
All right, so
out on
once
the
you got
way.
credit,
Get
you
the
could do
credit
it.
now,
Of
though,
course.
After these shows.
So I'll register my ass
you
and
gotta
start voting
register.
for Nicki. Shit.
Power Stars
Yeah.
Live.
Power
Star
Star
Live.
Live.
Power Star Live.
Every
Power Star Live.
Wednesday,
4 p.m.
live from Twitter from the Power Star Live handle, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Jesse Wu out here
And we're in
working.
Atlanta.
My man Zilla.
Yeah, working. Big things happening.
Congrats, guys.
Yo,
That's really
congratulations.
dope.
One
Thank you
time.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully we talk to you guys again soon. This
Yeah,
was fun.
absolutely. After next weekend, it's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Yeah.